Welcome to the lesson where I'm going to show you how to play the bass line from The Boss by Suzi Quatro. Now this is a James Brown song originally. If you don't know that version, check it out. There's some funny things going on in the tuning. You'll know what I mean when you hear that. And if you want to hear the Suzi Quatro version, it's on her album released in 2022 called Uncovered. This video is for my iconic female bass players series. I did another Suzi Quatro song last week. I covered the bass line from Devil Gate Drive, so check that out if you haven't seen that lesson. This bass line gets seriously funky in the middle section. It's great to hear Suzi Quatro really stretching out and playing some quite technical lines in there. I've transcribed the whole of Suzi Quatro's bassline note for note. That was quite an interesting process, especially the middle section. You can get that on a free PDF in standard notation and tab by clicking the link below this video in the description. So that's great. If you pick that up now, it's really good. You can use that alongside the lesson. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel right now if you want more bass guitar content. We don't need to look at a chord progression for this bass line because there isn't one really. The first and last section is just over an F minor chord. The middle section is over a B flat major chord, and we've just got a little bit at the end where it changes C, B flat, C. Okay, so typical kind of James Brown style where he just kind of grooves on one chord for lots and lots of bars. And the middle section really is a bridge section, is classic kind of take it to the bridge kind of thing happens there. A big part of playing this bass line is to make sure that you groove just like Suzi Quatro does. As I said, there's lots of kind of repeated bars over and over again, so you need to be really solid for those and right in the pocket. The first section really just has a one bar groove repeated over and over again with the odd variation thrown in. So the groove's over F minor. I'll just play it for you first. Okay, I'll show you in a minute. And sometimes there's a variation, more often than not, where you put an extra note in for the slide like this. Okay, listen to me playing those with the drum pattern. So we just start on F here, and we slide up, okay? Okay, so we just slide up to A flat, twice, B flat, twice, A flat. Okay? Now it's really important that you get that articulation in. When you're playing funk, this kind of funky stuff, how you play the notes is really important if you play them short or long. So Suzi Quatro plays it like this. Okay. Okay, and that kind of articulation kind of works really well with the brass kind of thing. Okay, that's how the kind of trumpet player ba ba da ba da or sax player ba ba da ba da, they would kind of phrase it like that. So it's important. So short, long, short, long, long. So it's just kind of short notes, two short notes, short, short. Try that with me, 3, 4. Okay, if we put the Fs in. So you need to kind of anticipate that slide, so. And then you need to be ready to play the A flat on beat 3. Okay. So sometimes it's just, and then other times. Okay, so just try that riff, try the two variations, and make sure you can play that up to speed. There's an extra little bar kind of halfway through that section, like this. Okay, so just two Fs, two E flats, two Ds, C, E natural, okay? Okay, we kind of play those short there. And they're longer. Okay, try that. So F, E flat. I play E flat there on the 6th fret of the A string. So F, E flat, D, C, open E. Okay, try it with me. 3, 4. Again, 3, 4. At the end of that section, you just hold an F down for 6 beats. So the last line goes like this. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're into the next section. So you can just use one riff round and round. But as I said, on the PDF, I've written it note for note, so you can see exactly what Suzi Quatro does, slight variations. But really, she's kind of just jamming it as well. So you can play around with that and have a bit of fun with that section. If you're enjoying this lesson, then don't forget to subscribe to my Greg's Bass Shed channel here on YouTube. You can do that by pressing the red subscribe button on the corner of the screen. And if you click the bell, you can choose to be notified whenever I release a new video lesson. The middle section is where things start to get really interesting. There's some serious funk going on here from Suzi Quatro. So I'm going to show you the main pattern. There's a main 4-bar pattern. You could, in theory, play that all the way through this section. But again, there's just some kind of variations from Suzi, and she's kind of grooving away and doing her thing there. So this is the 4-bar pattern with drums. So it's based on B flat. The first bar is okay, that's slowed down. So we're playing B flats first. So play it in this part of the neck, probably easier. Then you can you don't have to move out of position for the whole of this section. So B flat and then high B flat. Okay. And then that is on the 2nd 16th note. We've got E flat, short E flat, and then a hammer on E flat again and hammer onto F. Okay, now the tricky bit about this bar is when you beats 3 and 4, you're not actually playing anything at the start of the beats, okay? So it's a pattern that you really have to hear. It's quite tricky to count it. I'll just play it around a few times. Have a listen. 3, 4. Okay, so just B flat, E flat, hammer onto F, and then a slight gap, and then this A flat here, okay? So that's on the 6th fret of the D string. So try it with me. I'll play it once more. 3, 4. Okay, try it with me. 3, 4. Okay, so that's a real feel groove thing that you have to really know how the rhythm goes in your head, okay? And the next bar, this is probably the most technical bar in the bass line. Okay, pretty sure they're the notes that Suzi are playing. Again, it's quite fast. So we've got this pattern again on B flat. And then, okay, so that's D flat to D. Okay, you could slide it or do a hammer on. Okay, so this is a real classic funk line here. Okay, so after we've played that that bit, and then we can come down chromatically here, B flat, open E. Okay, I'll play that a few times. Okay, so try it with me slowly. 3, 4. And luckily that's a kind of open note there. It's just a quick note, okay, just a quick open E. Again. Okay, try it with me. 3, 4. Again. So that's how you need to kind of break it down. You might not be able to play that right now, but you need to kind of break it down bar by bar, this kind of 4-bar loop. Spend some time on it, get it under your fingers very, very slowly. And then just play maybe the first bit first. And then the second bit. Okay, so that's the way you're going to kind of learn it and be able to get up to speed. The third bar. Okay, so that's similar to the first bar, but we've just got a slightly different pattern on the first 2 beats. Okay. So try it with me, slower. 3, 4. Again, 3, 4. Okay, and then the last bar. Okay, so we've got short, long, short, long, short, long. This is another really good articulation that kind of works well with the brass. So we're just stepping down, B flat, A flat, G, F, and then sliding up, E flat, B flat. That's back on the kind of next 4 bars. Okay, try that last bar with me. So on the higher B flat, 3, 4. Again, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm going to play that whole 4-bar loop a little bit slower, and just have a listen or join in with me if you think you can play it. Okay, 3, 4. Okay, so you'll probably need to go away and really kind of work at that section. So as I said before, you can just loop these 4 bars and use it for the whole of the middle section. That'll work. But Suzi does some really cool little things. One of them that I really like is this kind of funky shake thing. Okay, that only kind of really works at speed when you play it fast. You're kind of just shaking on the note. Okay, everyone's got a kind of slightly different way to do that, so it will sound different when each person does it. You can sort of flick up. Okay. Each one would sound slightly different as well. So that's really nice. You'll see that on the PDF in some of the bars in the kind of second section of that middle bit. And then at the end of that section, we've got 2 beats of C, 2 beats of B flat, and then kind of back to C. So we're playing this thing. Okay, and that brings it back into the last section, the third section. So we've got C, and then that's a grace note there. Kind of quick hammer on from B flat, or a slide. Again, both of those will work. Hammer on or slide. So C, and then this is the B flat bit, and then back to C. Okay, but all the exact kind of variations are down on the PDF. I've notated it exactly, so take a look at that if you want to play the exact Suzi Quatro bass line. The last section is pretty much the same as the first section, the same kind of groove, but when we've got this step down bar, it's slightly different. It's just got a little slide at the end of it, so you play that bar twice. Like that, a kind of slide from E flat to F. Okay, so there's a few of those written there, and you'll see that on the PDF as well. Well, hopefully that's given you a good idea of how to play this bass line. It's not the easiest bass line, it's quite technical, but there's some great kind of funk and soul ideas in there, so you can use those in your own bass lines when you're kind of doing funk jams or just doing a groove number. Remember that everything's on the PDF. You can get that below by clicking the link in the description. And you can really help me out by sharing and liking this video. Feel free to just share the link on your socials. That all helps me. If you know anyone that kind of like to learn this bass line, then please share the link with them. I'd love to hear what you thought of the bass line. You might know the original, you might have heard this Suzi Quatro version as well. Just let me know in the comments. I love hearing all your stories. There were some good stories that people had to share about Suzi Quatro gigs on the last video. So just let me know. It's really great reading your comments, and I'll reply to all of them. If you felt that you got value out of this lesson, you can always help support me with these free videos and PDFs by buying me a coffee. The details are at the bottom of the screen here, or you can click the links in the description. So it's a $5 coffee. You can pay by PayPal or by card. And if you enjoyed this video and you want more bass content, then check out my website, which is gbshed.com. I've got courses, merch, books, loads more free stuff over there. So check out gbshed.com. And if you have a look in the description, there's links to my website and links of other cool things. So check that out as well. This is Greg from Greg's Bass Shed. Hopefully see you very soon in the next lesson.